ain't gonna lie, I'm a little snash. Shout out Young Man. Nah, what's good, y'all buddies? What's goody, man? Young nigga finna get into this exposing America's most notorious code. Shout out Tommy G-Ski. He dropped hella bangers while a nigga was gone, and I fucked with the channel. And I was saving them bitches. I was. Watching them bitches with y'all. Yeah. My bad, I be eating. Now I can't be slurping. Slurping is crazy. Let's get to it, though. Let's watch this Johnny exposing America's most notorious code. What you think it is? Without going to the comments and goddamn Freemasons. Not that. This say Scientology, though. But America's most, the government. Hey, you talking about they running it up on niggas. Let me put this goddamn sound in the goddamn headphones and let's vibe, man. Watch some good YouTube. Eat this fucking greens and fruit. And vibe, talk. How you niggas living? I'm vibing. This shit amazing to be back, man. I can't wait to see where this shit goes. Right now I'm just flowing. Let them say, just get in your flow. You flow. Then you get ideas and then you never know where you end up. You know what I'm saying? Just by, being you and flowing. But let's get money. America's most notorious code. Nigga be having. Shout out Tommy G. Scientology. Let's see what's going on.
How would you define Scientology?
Or the family destroying human trafficking cult. When you die, it's just your body that died.
Fuck is Scientology? Hey, let's find out. Shout out Tommy G.
You as a Thetan just jump into another body.
So I was born in Scientology. From the very first breath that I took, I was in
he
the...
looked evil. I ain't gonna lie, he looked like an evil.
It's just your body that
died.
died. You as a Thetan just jump into another body.
So I was born in Scientology. From the very first breath that I took, I was in the billion-year contract.
Pledging themselves lifetime after lifetime for a billion years.
But see, bro, that's what I'm saying. What we got going on, bro? You know there's something going on behind the scenes, like you know. What you mean, billion year? They mean
Harney,
billion year contract. You know what Scientology
right?
is?
Yeah.
You know what that is?
Yeah. Why?
They say exposing America's most notorious cult.
Yeah. It's crazy people.
I'm finna find out right now.
Why? What are you doing?
I'm watching, I'm reacting. You finna get in the video if you walk in the camera. Right. I'm watching it though. It's my boy Tommy G-Ski.
Huh?
It's my boy Tommy G-Ski.
Oh, he went there?
Yeah, he be doing videos. He a YouTuber. He the greatest.
He's a Scientologist?
No, his video is called Exposing America's Most Notorious Cult.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Nah.
You open it up. All are welcome. Whoa.
Culture of some private property.
Whoa.
What'd that say? Celebrity.
Whoa. Wait, where's the private property line?
You need to leave right now.
Don't
It's
touch
private
me.
property.
Don't touch
It's
me.
private property.
Hey, you better quit playing with Tommy. Hey, if you know Tommy, you know the way Tommy came up was wrestling videos, flexing boys. He would go anywhere and wrestle somebody. You beat me, you win $500. He knew he wasn't taking no L's.
Right now.
Tommy was that guy. I ain't gonna lie. He would give him boxing gloves and then he would go wrestle. He'd be like, you beat me, you feel me?
You need to leave right now.
Don't
It's
touch
private
me.
property.
Don't touch
It's
me.
private
Tommy
property.
is
You need to leave
flexing.
right now.
How's this T-Org treating you? We can help you get out if you want to.
Got it. Get out.
Don't
You're trespassing.
Where's the line?
Okay.
Where's the line?
Now you get out or I'm gonna use it.
Wow, that's crazy. Out of stunky.
Before I begin exposing one of America's most notorious cults and reveal to you what they do behind closed doors, first let's get you up to speed on what this religion is. Scientology is a religion that was started by L. Ron Hubbard, a man who also happens to have the Guinness World Record for being one of the most published science fiction writers of all time. It's a bit of a complicated religion, so bear with me, folks. It's based on the premise that a galactic overlord named Xenu brought billions of beings to Earth millions of years ago, chucked them into volcanoes, exploded them them with bombs, and created creatures called thetans, which essentially is this invisible spirit that attaches itself to you and is responsible for all of the negative things in your life, ranging from anxiety, addiction, emotional pain, and more. And the only way to remove these pesky thetans from your body is to follow L. Ron Hubbard's foolproof process. His methods involve paying boatloads of money to the church for courses called auditing classes, and even signing
Mr. L. Ron Hubbard
yourself up.
just got a big scam going. That's what it was. He had a scam going and he got some money on. And he said something crazy like, huh? Talking about came with a
one of
plane.
America's most notorious cults
Dropped
and
the
reveal
plane
to
in
you
the
what they do
volcano.
behind closed doors. First, let's
And it made like spirits.
get you up to speed on what this religion is. Scientology is a religion that was started by L. Ron Hubbard, a man who also happens to have the Guinness World Record for being one of the most published science fiction writers of all time. It's a bit of a complicated religion, so bear with me, folks. It's based on the premise that a galactic overlord named Xenu brought billions of beings to Earth millions of years ago, chucked them into the galactic writers of all time. It's a bit of a complicated religion, so bear with me, folks. It's based on the premise that a galactic overlord named Xenu brought billions of beings to Earth millions of years ago, chucked them into volcanoes, exploded them with bombs, and created creatures called thetans, which essentially is this invisible spirit that attaches itself to you and is responsible for all of the negative things in your life, ranging from anxiety, addiction, emotional pain, and more. And the
Okay, like I get that, like the little you're conscious, you know what I'm saying? Like I get that part, but like the galactic, yeah. Shout out to bro.
only way to remove these pesky thetans from
And
your
then
body
the only
is
way to remove it is this.
to follow L. Ron Hubbard's foolproof process. His methods involve paying boatloads of money to the church for courses called auditing classes, and even signing yourself up for a lucrative billion-year contract to the church. This cult has a
Put that word church on it. My bad. I gotta
shocking
quit
list of
pausing.
charges
They
against
put
him
that
made
word
by
church
former
on it,
members
dude.
who allege the following.
From
Start
the age
believing.
of 2 on, you sometimes saw your parents only once a week.
Hello, I am Celebrity Foot Masua, Janderas, Handeras. And I'm here for the release of my
See your
new book.
parents once a week from 2.
Yeah.
I remember we had one nanny, she was like 16 years old, and she was like stuck with like infants, like
It was, I really, that whole thought process pretty much just stopped at the point where I was like, I don't know what to do about this.
In order to investigate this religion for ourselves, we head to Scientology's two main hubs, Clearwater, Florida, and Los
Bro,
Angeles,
you know it'd be
California.
weird
What we
people
find
in the
is
world.
a world guarded by secrecy.
It's
We have
crazy.
numerous clashes with church security. We hear heartbreaking stories from former members who were born into the religion, and we observe how Scientology has put a stranglehold on the city of Clearwater. Folks, truth is the most powerful weapon we have against lies, manipulation, and corruption. This is what Scientology does not want you to see.
Folks, before I stick my boot up Scientology's ass, I got an announcement for you.
Truth is,
These-
man, truth hurt. The truth hurts. You feel me? That's what they say. The truth, you feel me? It's crazy. Like we know this is what be going on. My bad. Let me get this out of the camera. When I'm telling you, I absolutely just hit start recording, and that's how I be vibing. That's how I be vibing, bro. But what I was finna say, we know it's weird stuff going on. Shout out Tommy, go get his merch. That's what he finna plug. But we know it's weird stuff going on in the world too. But like, when we really know the truth about it, behind it now, like that should be crazy. That should be crazy. And now the more years go by, the more it just be coming out with everything and man, this shit is crazy. The world is crazy. Life is insane.
These sweatshirts that have sold out many times, we finally restocked.
We too-
We
man,
also
our
have a
brains
gray
is
version
crazy.
right here, a new colorway. And also one of my favorite
Go get
t-shirts we
Tommy
ever
merch,
made,
man.
the
Big dog
Underworld
value.
collection, on the website, TommyJimmyGee.com. See you guys there.
Great merch.
Between Clearwater and Los Angeles, this is where Scientology is primarily located. We're going undercover to start this operation, and we'll be boots on the ground here in Clearwater, Florida.
Tommy Biscuit, baby biscuit.
These guys get $50 a week. They need a union. These guys,
They living on 50 a week. Look like Amish. What you talking about?
these guys get $50 a week. They need a union. Scientology, huh?
It feels like we're in like a nuclear testing town.
Yeah,
But look,
look
like the
some weird-
Scientology people on the roof right there, maybe trying to sign $1 billion contract with Sea Org for $50 a week.
They brainwashed to the max. That's all it is,
Maybe
bro.
trying to
That's
sign
a lot of
$1
what
billion
it's
contract
just
with Sea Org
brainwashing.
for $50 a week.
That's what I'm saying. Our brain, our mind, crazy.
I have been helping people who have been abused or defrauded by Scientology.
This is Mark Bunker, a journalist, activist, city councilman, and Clearwater resident who spent over 2 decades fighting against Scientology. While many others would fold under the harassment and intimidation campaign that the church used on him, he has refused to be silenced. We pick him up and drive around Clearwater, and he helps us navigate Scientology's territory. Is there a place where a gathering place where they want to bring me in to tell me more about it?
There's a welcome center.
Welcome center is crazy.
This is the Hacienda Gardens, and this is where the Sea Org members live. They signed a billion-year contract to work for Scientology.
What does that mean? What, like, you talking about billion years? What does that mean? We ain't living. I ain't seen a nigga touch billion yet. What you mean a billion-year contract? What does that mean? I don't get what you saying.
Territory. Is there a place where a gathering place where they want
Why
to bring
does they
me
keep
in
saying
to tell
that,
me
dude?
more about
I'm
it?
confused.
There's a welcome center.
Shout out Thornton's. Hey, Thornton's Cup. I ain't gonna lie, I ain't seen Thornton's. I'm from the areas where it's Thornton's. Now I'm not near no Thornton's. I ain't seen no Thornton's out here yet.
This is the Hacienda Gardens, and this is where
What you mean?
Sea Org members live. They signed a billion-year contract to work for.
Bro, what does that even mean?
Scientology. The trees are going to cover up one area or level until boom, right here. Apparently Miscavige lives behind the area contract to work for Scientology. The trees are going to cover up one area or level until boom, right here. Apparently Miscavige lives behind those trees.
Now that I use Monday service, AI makes solving tickets.
And then there's
my
somebody
form
out
of
there
meditation.
got that billion. Talking about billion that
platform
contract. Somebody out there getting that billion. Crazy.
We would be kept up all night and sleep for a few hours under our desk. Basically, any little sense of joy that you had, there were people marching around trying to take it away. My name is Jenna Miscavige, and I was born and raised in Scientology, and I left when I was 22 years old.
This is Jenna Miscavige. She was born into Scientology and is the niece of David Miscavige, the man who seized power.
Yeah, that's the guy.
And my name is
No,
Jenna
he don't
Miscavige,
like her.
and I was born and raised in Scientology, and I left when I was 22 years old.
This is Jenna Miscavige. She was born into Scientology
No, he
and is the
don't like
niece
her.
of David Miscavige, the man who seized power of the church in 1987 after L. Ron Hubbard died and has ruled the church with an iron fist allegedly ever since. This is kind of like if Kim Jong-un's niece fled North Korea, lived to tell the tale, and we got to know her. In Scientology, her life was tightly
That's crazy.
controlled. She endured intense indoctrination, physical labor, and emotional manipulation. Here's what she had to say.
When I was 9 years old, I did what Scientology calls a purification rundown, where I had to be in a sauna for 5 hours a day. Yeah, and I would get like bloody noses even, but you have to keep going until you achieve whatever it is they want you to. Like you have to voice something that's the result of that program, or else you have to keep doing it, basically.
Well, my name is Serge. I grew up in Scientology.
I ain't gonna lie, them niggas weird. Doing that to a kid is crazy. I don't get it. Scientology, and the name is Science. The name Scientology already mean you know they own some.
Scientology.
And after
Crazy.
surviving a period of horrific neglect as a child, the church began to groom him to be a rising star of their auditing team. Auditing, by the way, is one of the main exercises of this religion. It's the practice of someone getting relentlessly questioned until they are able to release painful or traumatic thoughts that they may be holding on to, believing that once they do that, they can free themselves of this negative baggage they are holding on to. This is his account of what he experienced.
The kids go from the very bottom of the org board, which is like the maids, the ones that are like 14-year-olds doing the bed. The org board.
That shit don't even make sense. Hey, tell me I'm tripping though. Like, huh? I feel it though. I mean, it say 7 and 6 over there though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I feel it though. That shit do not make sense though. But public, I'm guessing it go right to left. Public qualifications, productions, treasury, dissemination. What that mean? Fuck that mean, nigga. Dissemination. Hey, I'll be too comfortable in it. I gotta react. My bad. Hey, what's up, bro? We just vibing. If you watching, we just vibing. The action of fact of spreading something, especially information, dissemination, communications, and executive. And that's some wild shit.
Which is like the
You can't tell me that makes sense though. Tell me I'm lying. You lying. Tell me I'm lying. You lying. What is we talking about? My camera used to be here. Where did my camera used to be?
The ones that are like 14-year-olds doing the beds of the adults that are booking rooms at the hotels, right? They recruit all the little young ones because they can have them do anything.
As a 12-year-old, basically, they put me into full-time training. So
right,
I was basically stuck.
When you a kid, that's what I'm saying. That's all these they brainwash. Talking about billion-year contract. What you mean? You just brainwashing for?
In Scientology, they would just call it an auditor. And then at one point that switched where I changed to be the person who trains auditors.
This is Aaron Smith-Levin. His mom got him into Scientology at an early age, and after being pushed to drop out of public school at only 12 years old, he spent most of his waking hours working for the church. Now all grown up and free from the cult, he is one of Scientology's most active critics, known for his YouTube channel Growing Up in Scientology.
I worked full-time for Scientology from the age of 12 to 26. I was taken out of school to work full-time for Scientology. I never went to high school. I don't have a diploma or anything like that.
Aaron's brother and I
That's
become
crazy.
like these like child prodigies that David Miscavige and Shelley were very obsessed with because we completed the metering course and got a license. We were the first kids that were able to read the e-meter.
For reference, an e-meter is a sort of primitive lie detector that Scientology uses during auditing sessions to see if you are telling the truth. If an e-meter indicates to an auditor that you may be hiding something, even your darkest secret, you will be questioned again and again and again until you reveal that thought.
Perfectly on a video and get a pass by Shelley Miscavige, which was like the biggest deal in the world at the time.
You weren't just born into any family in Scientology, the Miscavige family.
Of course, in attempting to get both sides of the story, we sent multiple interview requests to Scientology to speak to David Miscavige or a media representative. But due to the disastrous feedback they get when they do speak publicly, the church quite simply does not do interviews. In fact, David Miscavige has only done one interview with a journalist, with Ted Koppel back in 1992.
You realize there's a little bit of a problem.
This shit is wild. I ain't gonna lie. Shout out Tommy for an uneducated nigga like me to be watching this. This shit is baffling, honestly, bro. To think of some niggas out there brainwashed, like, you know what I'm saying? It's some, I don't know, California, I don't know where these niggas at, you know what I'm saying? Brainwashed somewhere, $50 a week, like, living like, you know what I'm saying? Living in a church and doing it, it's wild. It's like the Mormons and shit, though, but the Mormons got more freedom. That's what I'm saying? It's like Amish and shit, like, that shit type brainwash, you know what I'm saying? A lot of shit is brainwash. I ain't trying to disrespect nobody. I respect all, even respect these niggas. Like, but it's just, we all live a different way. But that shit type brainwash.
In getting people to talk critically about
we
the
all
Church of
brainwashed in a
Scientology,
certain
because quite frankly, they're scared.
Like, look at this nigga. This nigga's legit. 1992. He the leader or something.
Ted Koppel back in 1992.
You realize there's a little bit of a problem in getting people to talk critically about the Church of Scientology, because quite frankly, they're scared.
Oh, no.
And since then, and for over 30
What's the
years,
Quite frankly, they have a problem in getting people to talk critically about the Church of Scientology, because quite frankly, they're scared.
Oh, no.
And since then, and for over 30 years, he has been radio silent except for totally scripted and bizarre Scientology-made media that looks like this.
Whatever you have heard, if you haven't heard it from us, I can assure you, we are not what you expect.
All right, Gabby from Vegas, let's go ahead.
Bro, I know. Don't tell me I'm finna see some kids getting saved from a helicopter. And don't tell me,
So our brown
that's
got
crazy.
back in
That's
stock.
crazy.
For a man that rules Scientology like a big tough guy, little David folds like a lawn chair when it comes to any sort of accountability or questions from the public. But there may be a reason for that. Here are some of the allegations against David.
You have written a whole book about your son, and you've called the book Ruthless.
Yeah. A very, very aggressive style and a tendency to violent outbursts that are physical in nature.
And to give you an idea of what type of guy he is, just look at what he did to his own parents that left Scientology. He and the church published hit piece websites about his...
If your parents leave and y'all was in charge of it, you just know, gang. Like, you feel me?
Parents
I
claiming
feel
his
it,
dad
though.
to be
You gotta do your thing to
nothing
be
more than a
thugging.
pots and pan salesman who punches his wife, and also adding that he lied about his
That's
nothing more
crazy.
than
I ain't gonna lie,
Scientology.
now
He
you
and the
deserve
church
your
published
time.
hit piece
I
websites
ain't
about his
sorry
parents,
to,
claiming his
but
dad to be
facts.
nothing more than a pots and pan salesman who punches his wife, and also adding that he lied about his book, saying that he was not in prison, he was not starved, and he did not have to escape from the church. And then he made his stepmom out to be a lying gold digger who wants to exploit her stepson for fame. My guy Keegan did some digging and found out that after David's parents escaped the church, they eventually settled down in West Allis, which is only 10 minutes from us in Milwaukee. He FOIA requested West Allis police records and found that Scientology paid a private investigator 10 grand a week to tail his dad and give hourly reports on his activities.
On approximately 7:13 at approximately 12:02 hours, I responded to the 2400 block of South 76th Street for a suspicious activity complaint. The caller, Deborah Kuriff, told dispatch she was concerned about a man/woman, shaved head, long sleeve shirt, who was walking back and forth in this area, and he was on his cell phone. Dispatch advised the caller Kuriff thought the man/woman might possibly be involved in a drug deal. And what did Tommy say that was?
Minutes from us in Milwaukee. He FOIA requested West Allis police records and found that Scientology paid a private investigator 10 grand a week to tail his dad and give hourly reports on his activities and whereabouts. This private investigator was found with a gun, silencer, and over 2,000 rounds.
Due to the vehicle containing several firearms and hundreds of rounds of ammunition and Powell not providing his name or an explanation of what he was doing in the neighborhood. The black Ford Escape was towed for evidentiary purposes. Powell was arrested for obstructing and prowling and conveyed to the WAPD by P.O. Belly. I followed the NS and towing truck into the WAPD storage garage.
Of ammunition in his trunk. Stalking people with private investigators is alleged.
He had the gun truck. You feel me? Like a movie, Batman. What are you talking about?
A favorite tactic of this lovely church, and shows you just the tip of the iceberg of how much Scientology tries to ruin your life if you leave the religion or try and speak out against them.
I don't know how many people they
tries to ruin your life if you leave the religion or try and speak out against them.
I don't know how many people they squeeze into one apartment. 8 to 12, I believe.
Wow.
From the outside, it looks like a normal Florida apartment complex. What they are is 2 and 3 bedroom units where you've got like 4 bunk beds in the living room, 4 more bunk beds in each bedroom.
Wow.
Like you could be fitting like 15 people, easily 15 people into a unit. Like it's illegal.
They'll charge you for the apartment, for the food, for this, that, and the other thing. So if you leave, there are people who leave with $100,000 bill or more.
So I was born in Scientology.
That's
from
wild.
the very first breath that I took. I was in the billion-year contract wrapped up because my parents had been recruited to go to the AFM. My parents are from North Mexico. I grew up in appalling conditions in Mexico. The cadet org was disgusting. It was like 100 kids. I remember we had one nanny. She was like 16 years old and she was like stuck with like infants. Like my sister also grew up there, and I remember still like her being in a crib, you know, like with full of urine, like.
If you have passion and drive, you could do anything. I wasn't the best in high school, and I was able to.
No care for the babies at all.
Folks, we gotta emphasize what we just heard because it's so crazy. Imagine this,
that's
dozens
crazy.
of babies in a room, many of them crying, needing to be held, sitting in their own dirty diaper, and just one overwhelmed teenager caring for them, allegedly. It's sickening, and the reason, allegedly, this is done is because good old L. Ron Hubbard basically believes that babies should be treated like adults, and they don't need any special sort of care or attention. From the age of 2 on, you sometimes saw your parents only once a week.
Hey, that man is crazy. This is a crazy man right here, boy. Shout out to bro. I ain't gonna lie, you's a crazy guy.
Hubbard basically believes that babies should be treated like adults, and they don't need any special sort of care or attention.
What is that inside? The age of hold on, we gotta read this. I'm sorry, we gotta read this one. In Scientology doctrine, children are regarded as being adults in small bodies. According to L. Ron Hubbard, their bodies house ancient and immortal deities or spirits who are capable of carrying out the same responsibility as any adult. Because their spirit are regarded as ageless, their status as children is irrelevant. Scientologists working as staff members believe that their most important purpose is saving the world and everything else is secondary. Vicky Anzaran, a former church official, explained Scientologists come first and everything else is off purpose. Parents who want to spend time with their children are looked down on. It's not socially acceptable. What the hell? What are they doing during the day? That's crazy. Their bodies house ancient and immortal statins of spirits who are capable of carrying out the same responsibilities as any adult. Huh? Like, what are you saying right now, bro? That's crazy. Scientology's working as staff members believe that their most important purpose is saving the world and everything else is secondary. Saving the world.
Treated like adults, and they don't need any special sort of care or attention. From the age of 2 on, you sometimes saw your parents only once a week.
Yeah.
Can you talk about that?
So my parents work for Scientology's most dedicated group called the Sea Org, the Sea Organization. They signed a contract pledging themselves lifetime after lifetime for 1 billion years to servitude to Scientology. It meant that they worked like 115-hour weeks. They got little to no time off.
Kids that were born into the Sea Org were taken care of by nannies. They didn't see their parents. They were lucky they saw them for an hour a week.
What are the benefits of doing all this? Why would someone devote their life to this?
When you're doing it, you think that you're dedicating yourself to an amazing cause. You think that you're like saving mankind, and it's sort of like the greatest purpose you could have.
And our parents were in this mission to save the world, right? It's like they're all like stuck in this, like, you know.
Yeah, this shit is wild. I don't know if y'all really hearing it, like, cause I'm yapping, but this shit is like genuinely crazy. When you gotta look at it from the outside versus not, and then the inside perspective too. Like, it's crazy.
The job that they were doing for Scientology, that they were prioritizing over
like
their newborns,
knowing how you living
Well,
today.
they really believe they're saving
thinking
the
how they
planet.
live.
This is like a mind control factory.
Yeah, it's all
the job that they
brainwashed.
were doing for Scientology, that they were prioritizing over their newborns.
Putting
basically.
crosses in, like, bro, this how they get, like, they try to brainwash you, bro.
They
Like,
didn't see their parents. They were
like
lucky
he
they saw them for an
preaching a
hour.
word to
What
you.
are the
like,
benefits of doing all this? Why would
powerful
someone
man, you know what I'm
devote their life
saying?
to this?
When
He's
you're
saying
doing
this
it,
word
you
to
think that
you.
you're dedicating yourself.
Like, look, you know what I'm saying? The powerful man saying this word to
an
you.
amazing
This powerful man with the cross and this saying this word to you.
cause. You think that you're like saving.
We're together, we're strong, we're power up here. Look what we got. You know what I'm saying?
Mankind,
crazy.
and it's sort of like the greatest
what we
purpose
can
you
do.
could
Look
have.
what we can do.
Saving mankind, and
Look what
it's
we
sort of
can
like
do.
the greatest purpose you could have.
And our parents were in this mission to save the world, right? It's like they're all like stuck in this, like, you know, job that they were doing for Scientology, that they were prioritizing over their newborns, basically.
Well, they really believe they're saving the planet. This is like a mind control factory.
We wanted to get our feet wet with Scientology, so we went
all
to their welcome
brainwashing.
center where they were selling the Dianetic books. And I happened to know after doing some research that a lady named Pat sat at the front desk, and she was actually a media liaison. So I thought she'd be a good person to talk to. Here's how this mission went. Good morning, good morning. Oh, I'm a travel vlogger. Oh, I'm just a travel vlogger. Pat Harney, you gotta relax. This is public, right? You open it up to all are welcome. L. Ron Hubbard. And who is L. Ron Hubbard?
He is a science fiction Western fan.
You gotta relax. This is public, right? You open it up to all are welcome. L. Ron Hubbard. And who is L. Ron Hubbard?
He is a science fiction Western fantasy author. Born in 1911 in Tilden, Nebraska. He is a guy
Science
who
fiction.
lived an amazing life, but it was a pathological
Fantasy,
liar.
science fiction.
Science fiction Western fantasy author.
Science
Born in
fiction,
1911 in
Western
Tilden,
fantasy
Nebraska. He is a guy who lived an amazing.
Born in 1911
in Tilden, Nebraska. He is a guy who lived an amazing life, but it was a pathological liar and a con man. He basically created Dianetics as sort of his like poor man's psychotherapy, and then a few years later created Scientology.
Hey there, how you doing? I'm just trying to buy a book, sir. And why does no one here answer questions?
Come over here.
Can I buy a book first?
Private property. You can, but you can buy it out here.
Are you like a leader here?
Please come outside.
Are you a Sea Org member?
Please come outside.
I will come outside if you can answer like 3 questions. I would love to come outside.
Come outside, please. This is private property.
It's probably his son. Look how brainwashed his son is, man. It's probably not his son, though, but just look how brainwashed his little dog is.
3 questions. I would love to come outside.
Look how brainwashed this. Hey, dog, is idiots. Hey, what's bro name? What's bro name of Jimmy Neutron, bro? What's bro name of Jimmy Neutron? What's bro name of Jimmy Neutron, bro? What's bro name? Come on, bro. Not Jimmy's hair. I need the box hair, bro. I need the box hair, bro. Bro, who was it, bro? What is his name? Jimmy Neutron friend. Let me do it. Hey, yeah, come on, take up. Oh my God. Hey, we praying for dog, bro. We praying for dog, bro. We gotta. Hey, we gotta chill, bro. Come on, bro. We praying for Brody. My bad.
Come outside, please. This is private.
Who will come out? You're here?
Please come outside.
Are you a Sea Org member?
Please come outside.
I will come outside if you can answer like 3 questions. I would love to come outside.
Come outside, please. This is private property.
Hey, Elron.
He said, hey, Elron.
Please, this is private property.
Tommy being
Elron.
a smarter. I love it.
All right, Pat, have a good day. I wish we could have talked more, honestly. Hey, guys, they're not really open to the public anymore. We have their Agent Smith coming.
Can you come up?
Oh, no. Agent Smith, what got you into Scientology? Oh, sorry, I'm just...
Can you watch out, sir?
Hold on, I'm standing still. He's taking a picture. I'm trying to pose. I don't want it to be a blurry photo. The house in the garden.
Hey,
what time do you
what they on? I ain't gonna lie, they goofies though. They goofy.
What got
Let's
you
hear
into
bro talk though.
Scientology?
Let's hear bro talk.
Oh, sorry, I'm just...
Can you watch out,
They
sir?
Hold on, I'm standing still. He's taking a picture. I'm trying to pose. I don't want it to be a blurry photo. The house in the gardens, what time do you think I should be by later? Like, do you guys do cookouts or anything like that?
Yeah, something like that.
I bet you guys would actually enjoy...
Check out our website. Check out our TV channel, okay? Fantastic.
All right. They answer no questions. I wasn't allowed to buy the book, which I was genuinely, I would have bought the book. I met Pat at the front.
Pat pays to be a PR person here.
Oh, she's the PR person. No one would answer even one question.
Of course not.
Next, we went to the infamous flag building to see if we could infiltrate and see what was going on inside. Unfortunately, a call to the Clearwater Police Department had already been made, and as soon as I touched the doors, I turned around and saw the police waiting for me.
Looks like the police may have been called and are following us.
There was a call on a van, a suspicious vehicle, so.
A suspicious vehicle?
You guys can film all you want, but just don't antagonize them, I should say. Otherwise, they're gonna do a criminal trespass on you. So that means
Criminal trespass. Please. I want to go in the back of your car. That's how I'm feeling. I want to go in the back of your car and cuss whatever you got with it. What do you say? You put me in handcuffs so I see baby. And we talking about woo. I'm telling you. My bad.
they're gonna do a criminal trespass on you. So that means if you step foot on any of their property, you go to jail. It's silly.
But right now, I'm really just trying to talk to one Scientology member that'll answer.
Good luck.
What is it like living in a city that's dominated by Scientology?
It's horrible. When we see them, they're marching in line like zombies, you know, down the street.
What do you think about them owning $200 million?
My bad. Them are girls and my young ladies. I feel bad for them. I really do. Because, you know, one thing about girls, they like to have fun. And come on. I don't think they having as much fun as they really do.
What do you think about them owning $200 million worth of real estate?
I mean, if that's what they want to do and they're not hurting anybody else, just as long as they're American citizens.
Well, they bought that whole block, 2 blocks, I believe, and then across the street, too.
They pay their taxes.
They're tax exempt.
So if you well, I disagree with that. Elon Musk needs to get on that. It needs to be looked at, investigated, and someone to make a a good decision on that, and that's going to be President Trump.
Nobody knows anything.
Is the
Shout
town
out to
trying to
Bro.
do something
We know who we
The
go, how we support.
commissioners are.
Elon and Trump for the win, baby.
Scientology started secretly buying up all the property downtown here in 2017.
That's crazy. They finna try to buy the world. They finna try to buy the world. Why you playing?
I was working in the hotels, I was doing demolition, I was doing construction, I was doing HVAC, and I was there with several hundred kids from all over the world. I was working 7 days a week, 8 o'clock in the morning to 11 o'clock at night, 365 days a year for 4 years.
So a lot of it was training, a lot of it was
Saluting
cleaning,
is crazy.
and we did like laundry and clean the rooms of executives, so they would like inspect with a white glove to make sure that we didn't miss anything.
That's punishment. Nah, they got these for brain. All right, I'm
Miss
done.
anything.
For real though, they got these boys brainwashed. This the heirs. Tom Cruise penthouse.
Tom Cruise gives all credit to Scientology for his success. Tom Cruise is Tom Cruise because he's Tom Cruise, not because of Scientology.
Every single window is closed. Every single blinds that you could see into is closed at a certain level until it ends. They're a very don't look in here type of a place. What was going through your head when your parents decided we're going back into it?
Since my whole entire family was connected to it, it never left us. So we were still kind of like exposed
Relatives were into it
my
as well.
relatives, all my aunts, all my uncles, all my cousins, everybody. I signed a 1 billion-year contract, and now
what does
I'm
that
there for the
even
rest of my
mean,
life.
bro?
And my pay was gonna be $50 a week. So I was like, oh damn, I'm 10K in debt, $50 a week. I'm like, okay, I guess I just have to really make it here.
When I was 12 years old, I was moved across the country here to Clearwater, and my parents were still in California.
Any part of you say something's not right here, something's really wrong?
I don't think that second part added into it. Not like there's something really wrong. It was, that whole thought process pretty much just stopped at the point where I was like, I don't know what to do about this.
Even the higher ups, like yes, they had some things easier, but that's really mostly at the top. I feel like Scientology is like a game of power, and everybody has to report on each other, and that's how you get to the top, is essentially by throwing other people under the bus. That's the only way you can feel important.
The way to have...
Bro, I ain't trying to be disrespectful, bro, but it's like Amish. You know, you get shunned and all that, in my bad for the camera. But you know, like I'm just being busy. I'm just keeping it a busy. Let me turn the light on to it.
This used to be the Lisa McPherson Trust. This is where we had our offices, right next door to Scientology's OSA, Department of Office of Special Affairs, was right there. The dirty tricks people, right through there. That was my office, right behind these windows here. All locked up. They don't want anyone to see what's going on in there now. Now that they know your cameras are...
You was here?
Extortionist.
I feel, yes, they
Just stopped at the point
He
where
was
I was
in
like,
it.
a game of power, and everybody has to report on each other, and that's how you get to the top, is essentially by throwing other people under the bus. That's the only way you can feel important.
The way to happiness? This used to be the Lisa McPherson Trust. This is where we had our offices, right next door to Scientology's OSA, Department of Office of Special Affairs, was right there. The dirty tricks people, right through there. That was my office, right behind these windows here. All locked up. They don't want anyone to see what's going on in there now. Now that they know your cameras are here, this entire several blocks of front groups are shut down.
I found the best flip-flops ever.
Crazy.
Wait till you hear this.
Strength in
My Archie
numbers.
footwear flip-flops
That's the only reason
are
they
the
got
next
power, because
greatest
they
thing
have
that
a
I
few
have.
numbers, but
I got
they
this
really
blue
are
color
nobody's
because they
though,
match with
like,
so many outfits.
You still calling the police?
Personally, my favorite
Ain't
feature.
nobody.
One thing that
Just
comes to
keep
my
it
mind
busy.
when I walk past all these empty buildings that look like they're fully functioning offices, but no one's here.
Right.
It's like North Korea. It's like a very staged play that you're a part of.
Yeah.
Yet when you look, just peek a little bit behind the surface, like there's no one. All the windows are shut. There's no sunlight coming in. There's no one here. Look. They make it look like someone just had a meeting in here, or let's see if there's a front desk right here. This is an office that should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, this is an office that should have at least a front desk worker, if not an employee. None of this has anyone in it.
No city on earth feels.
Yeah, that shit is weird. I ain't gonna lie. That is weird. What do they got going on? Nah, they probably just they know Tommy was coming. It gotta be because they knew Tommy was coming. It gotta be. It gotta be because Tommy.
None of this has anyone in it.
No city on earth feels the negative effects of Scientology quite like Clearwater, Florida. Some fantastic reporting by the Tampa Bay Times reveals how the church has taken over the city. In 1975, the church purchased the Fort Harrison Hotel and made this their headquarters. Over the decades, the church began acquiring real estate at a ferocious pace, scooping up property after property. Since then, they've poured hundreds of millions into more than 200 buildings, owning the majority of the Clearwater downtown. Mind you, this is with tax-free money because somehow the IRS lost their balls when confronting the church, ruling in 1993 Scientology to be a tax.
In 1993, the Church of Scientology was granted tax-exempt status in the United States. Its home country, though it's received religious recognition in some countries, in other countries it operates as either a non-profit or for-profit non-religious
exempt religion. The weird thing is, they've left most of the buildings vacant, turning Clearwater into a sort of North Korean ghost town. The question is why? Insiders speculate it's because they want to show a dominant presence, but the truth is they simply do not have the numbers of people to occupy these buildings, and it's no surprise. Their peak membership numbers were before the internet, but now that their practices are widely publicized, they are unable to recruit new members and are slowly going extinct. But even as a dying empire, they still have a great deal of power over Clearwater, and they are crushing the businesses in the downtown. Just take it from Tony, a local entrepreneur who is facing dire financial circumstances because of the church.
So this is obviously our place. We start off with the Nash keys, and between like bureaucracy and stagnation, we had harassing phone calls about us not being part of the community, to get out of the town, even death threats later. But it took us 3 years to get these places open, a year and a half of permitting. More walls than you can imagine were being put up for us, but we got open.
When you say death threats, tell me more about that.
Death threats meaning like poisoning, harassing, to get the f out of the town. That
someone tried poisoning you?
No, they allude to that they're going to poison me.
Describe what's happened to this block over time and how Scientology has impeded local business from thriving.
The way they actually affect it is that the negative stigma that has on it, the overbearing control and presence that they portray. They like to portray like a sense of unity that is disheartening to most of the community.
Is that their bus behind us?
Absolutely. They're more organized than our government.
And their bus windows are blacked out.
Yes, they have very weird things that they do. I've seen a bunch of strange things. This is it.
Bro, they are like, I'm trying to think of like a game or a movie or a show or something that's like, you know what I'm saying? But like they are on some, you know, video game type.
It's a two-story club.
Like Tommy said, what was
It is nice, and in the evening times, I've seen this place just booming.
If you want to fight against the empire of Scientology, come into this local business, spend some money, get a cigar, get a drink, and meet this handsome fella right here.
Let's take back Clearwater, $1 at a time, like you just said.
Do you remember what feelings were going on in your head as a 5-year-old that led to the paint things?
We had no one to go to. Like there was no adults around. Like all the adults were compromised. In 1986, L. Ron Hubbard ends up dead, and because they had seen that a lot of people had left the Scientology because they were treating them so horribly, they would always come back with this amnesty. We're gonna forgive you for all the suppressive acts you committed. If you come back, if you write them down, then we'll forgive you, and then pretend they didn't happen. So that's when my parents got roped back in. They said, you're a suppressive because you blew because your child almost died. Oh no, we're gonna forgive you for having left without permission.
To really see what's going on in Hacienda Gardens, we got a drone operator that's gonna be able to show us what's happening and also show us their real estate holdings. Nice to meet you.
Hey, nice to meet you. Big fan. It's crazy.
Appreciate you, man.
Well, if you could go over to where the pool
Tommy,
is,
go to.
then that will help orient me a little better. It's like, if You
want to turn around?
Yeah, straight up there. Yeah, and go to the end. That was where.
They don't like this drone, boy.
Straight up there. Yeah, and go to the end. That was where.
Right here?
That was
yeah,
Dave's?
the end one, yeah. And my mom.
That was the
And that
penthouse
end.
suite there?
It was just 4 condos, and there would always be a security guard posted, sitting across the way with you.
It actually won't let me go lower. It's weird.
Do you think it's a blocker?
That's the only thing I can think of, because they'll let me go up, but it won't let me go back down to where I was.
Interesting.
It's really odd.
Huh? Now that's crazy. That's wild. Ain't no way they got technology like that.
They'll let me go up,
He just on that. He just geeking right now. He just geeking.
but it won't let me go back down to where I was.
Interesting.
It's really odd.
And you lived in these apartments for how long?
For about 4 years.
I lived here for a few years as well.
Really?
Yeah. Multiple blocks, but one of the last ones was this one right here.
And you really can't get out unless they let you out. Like, we would have to come out and tell them what we were doing. Like, if it was on one of the mornings where we would do cleaning, and if we wanted to, like, go to the gas station or something like that, we'd have to
Like
tell
even
them.
going for a walk
That's the
outside?
thing, like a normal apartment complex, you know, the magnetic doors, you know, like if you have gates and magnetic doors, usually you can get out. You might need a key to get in. You cannot get out of this apartment complex without a security guard letting you out and opening the gate.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy.
Is that D block? Why can't I read it? Yeah, that's D block.
Okay, so I lived here in D block.
Gabby, you good? I don't think you good. You good?
Yeah.
Like
so
towards-
interestingly, they actually turned the camera away from us.
I can't hear you.
Is that D block? Why can't I read it? Yeah, that's D block.
Okay, so I lived here in D block.
Yeah.
Like
so
towards-
interestingly, they actually turned the camera away from us.
Oh. Anyway, so I lived at the end of D block in like the lower levels. They actually had fixed these ones up to be a little bit nicer.
Would you be surprised if they had vehicles patrolling?
I'm sure they have vehicles patrolling.
Is it that? Are they that paranoid?
Yeah. I mean, David Miscavige takes his security as seriously as a head of state.
The car's getting in.
Let's get in.
Hey, we got a meeting with David. Go. Hey, go back. Hold on. Hold on, please, sir.
He trying to keep the gate up.
Sir, please.
That boy Tommy tripping.
Sir, please. Oh, sir, ow!
Geez, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 cameras on us right now.
How long were your parents out before they went back in?
What was this? Like maybe like 3-4 years. Then L1 Hubbard dies. They go back to Mexico. They get recruited back in again.
Was their life terrible outside of Scientology?
My grandparents were chill. My grandparents were normal people.
So what would have possibly motivated after they escaped and had freedom for 3 or 4 years?
Scientology caters to a narcissistic personality because the thing is, it promises superiority. It promises you're going to be better than everyone else.
Did you ever get to confront your parents about that or ask them, are they still in it?
No, my parents aren't in Scientology anymore, and they think Scientology is horrible, and they've said that it's like the biggest regret of their life.
How was it escaping Scientology?
Well, I guess the thing is that in Scientology, you know, at certain levels of management, they actually won't let you leave. Like the area will be surrounded by gates, and they won't let you out the door. If you manage to leave, they'll chase you, because when you leave, people who are in Scientology are no longer able to speak to you. You can't get a job at a Scientology company. Like in my case, I didn't know how to drive, I didn't have a bank account, and so your livelihood actually getting a job depends on you being connected to these people, or you lose every family member. And so while you can just walk away, that's like totally deceiving. You risk losing everything that's important to you if you do.
I got it in my head that we wanted to storm the Celebrity Center, which is the place that the highest ranking and most influential Scientologists go. Actors like Tom Cruise and John Travolta, and businessmen like Grant Cardone. So I wanted to see for myself what was behind these walls. Here's
3
how
names
that
I
went.
know, that's crazy.
Whoa.
Tommy
Wait, where's the
Goofy.
Whoa.
Wait, where's the private property line? Where's the line?
Guys, it's private property.
Is
You're
that
on
guy-
the sidewalk.
He's on private. Oh my God, he's on private
Right
property.
on the sidewalk.
No, but
You're on private property.
what makes it worth selling your soul for $1 billion years?
Just move to the sidewalk. That's
Does
what we're
Tom
asking.
Cruise know that you guys work for $50 a week?
All we're asking is just to move to the sidewalk. You need to move out here.
Oh, whoa.
Come this way.
Are you?
just need to move off private property.
Why are you bumping and grinding on me? This ain't a Nelly song.
We need you to
partner.
move off. You're on private property, sir.
How do we talk to someone from Scientology?
You guys need to leave right now. Get off the property. Get off the property. You're trespassing. You need to leave right now. You need to leave right now.
Don't
It's
touch
private
me.
property.
Don't touch
It's
me.
private property. You need to leave right now.
It's private
Leave right now. It's
property.
private
That's their
property.
favorite thing.
All right, we'll be back. We'll be back.
Sir, just need.
Are
You
you
just
guys
need to be.
pushing me?
Stop pushing me.
You push me.
I say you're on private property. We just need to move off here.
I don't have
Excuse me.
anything against you guys. I'm
Excuse
just
me?
curious
He's
what.
trying to help y'all escape.
You can escape. You still can leave. Like to think, you guys. I'm just curious what.
Trying to help y'all escape.
You can escape. You still can leave. Like to think that you would work 80 hours a week. What makes it worth it? Are the security guys there? Are they Scientologists?
Yes, they're actually some of the most important Scientologists. Have you ever heard of the term OSA? That's the Office of Special Affairs. Sort of like Scientology's FBI, CIA, Secret Service all in one. So they do all the dirty work. They're very high ranking.
Dude, what would have happened if we would have started? We had a fist fight.
That would have been good content.
Yeah, Tommy would have folded them.
This is William Jude. When I told Aaron Levin-Smith I was headed to LA to further investigate the church there, he said you gotta meet up with William. Known for his work battling the church on his YouTube channel Scientology Audit LA Streets, William has spent months documenting and battling Scientology. Together, we go on a mission to infiltrate the church's LA stronghold.
So my name is William Good. I'm an activist out here. Had a beef with Scientology a couple of years ago, and they said some really crude things to me.
What do they say?
A security guard told me to suck his cock. So I thought that was kind of crude, so I said I'm going to end your religion, and so here we are.
Uppercut it.
So they're working 110 hours a week for nothing.
They're literally
Suck
slaves.
it.
They're slaves. And a lot of these people, 110, I thought that was kind of crude, so I said I'm going to end your religion, and so here we are. So they're working 110 hours a week for nothing.
They're literally slaves.
They're slaves. And a lot of these people come from other countries, right? So they bring them here on religious visas. And then once we get here, they take their paperwork away, so now they're stuck.
Should we visit one of their plantations?
Sure.
Let's
go for it.
Let's go.
All right. So let's just drive by there real quick so I can just show you how to go about doing it. Then park a few blocks away, and then are you gonna? If you walk in with your cameras,
yeah,
there's no chance. Because when I come walking down the street, I have to hug the wall so they don't see me. The minute she sees me, she goes. They will literally run in there and close the door.
We got our guy, Cheddar, aka Texas Buzz, back for another investigative piece. You may have seen him in the sex, money, murder piece in Dallas, where he infiltrated the prostitution ring. Now we're sending you into Scientology, man.
Yeah.
How do you feel?
I don't know too much about this, so
out
just gonna
Cheddar,
go in there
like, look-y
and
legend.
be genuinely curious, like what's going on.
I think that's the perfect approach. It's going to be similar to the Clearwater bookstore, so we want to get a fresh perspective. So, Cheddar, good luck on your mission.
Gotcha.
And no tortas on the way there. Just make it straight to the wall, okay? Go get him, Cheddar.
Shut the doors.
Yeah, so they realize. They're no joke with the things.
What happened in there?
No, nothing.
They just closed the doors?
Close the doors.
Did you see him close the doors?
No.
They already had him closed.
They already had him closed.
This is Dre. He's one of the editors on my team and has been with us for a few months cranking out videos. In making this piece, we found out that he actually had joined Scientology for about a week. Here's what we learned from him.
I'm Dre, and
Look,
I
Dre
was
was
in
tweaking.
Scientology. It was back in 2020 that I took a trip out to LA. Being in the area, you always heard about Tom Cruise talking about Scientology, so it was one of those stops I wanted to do. I was just on a regular touristy trip. I was looking at the stars, and then they got people in suits always just walking down and forth closer to the Scientology building, so that's where they got me. Initially, when you go into that building, they have their showroom. So that first half that I stepped into was the museum part, and they have posters, TVs, small little like segments of like who they are. And then once you go into the back room, it looks more of an office, but like higher end office. They have their cubicles, they'll bring you into one of their cubicles and start talking to you. It felt like therapy. The whole time they're very personal, so they're always looking at you. It feels like they actually want to get to know you. We were in there for, I would want to say like 4 hours. They emphasized me coming
Brainwash.
back. And they kept on saying like, oh, well, how long are you here till? You know, could you come back tomorrow? We can like do more things. So they took me from the initial consultation, I'm gonna call it, and then they pitched me the, well, you know, we think you'd benefit from this first seminar, which is this book right here. I got this book during that seminar. So someone was leading the course, they showed us videos, we talked about it, they made us like write, so it was a full blown, you're interacting with the person teaching us, and then the videos are showing us.
Was that the last time you went? Like, did you ever return to Scientology?
I never went back, but I know that I continuously get emails and I still get letters sent to me.
Is that Jennifer?
Jennifer.
Crosshauer. She's like their main.
I just pulled up their work.
That is Jennifer.
That is Jennifer. Should we talk to her?
Tried to.
The lady Williams spotted is Jennifer Krosskopf. She is Scientology's chief legal officer, even though it's unclear if she even has a license to practice law. She's the one in charge of things like getting restraining orders on protesters and personally signing all legal documents between the church and the city of Los Angeles. We jump out on foot to try and speak with her.
She finna start running.
Jennifer!
If she start running, it's crazy.
Can we talk to you a little bit? How's this T org treating you? We can help you get out if you want to. Jenny!
Stay off the property, you're trespassing.
Where does it start?
Nope.
Can you tell me where the line is?
Private property. Let's go. Let's go. Get out of the property.
You're fuck out. Get out. You're trespassing.
Where's the line?
Okay.
Where's the line?
Pepper spray. Now you get out, or I'm gonna
I
use it.
hook
That seems like a crime.
I will hook him. I'm telling you, I'm gonna hook you. You talking about pepper spray? I'm gonna show you pepper spray. Pepper and spray. I'm gonna hook you, boy. Oh man, boy, show me that pepper spray. Like look, Charles, like, see, he got that good mace. He got that mace. He get far with. Right here, you threaten me like this.
Pepper spray. Now you get out.
You threaten me like this right here. Hook. See you later. Wake up in about 2 minutes. You'll find out what happened.
That seems like a crime. That's a little pussy move. A real man wouldn't.
See, that was easy out of. Oh my God. See, you playing me now. Now you just playing me. Well, you getting hooked. Getting hooked.
That's a little pussy move. A real man wouldn't need pepper spray. I would love to see the inside. Has any footage really been captured on the inside?
Through the windows, but every time we film through the windows, they try to prosecute. You notice something? No windows are open, right? Shades are down everywhere.
So with the internet, it's almost impossible for them to recruit.
Yeah.
Before the internet, when information wasn't exposed, it was a cool hip Hollywood thing. All the LA people were doing it. Monkey see, monkey do.
That's what that $1 billion contract come into, and they born into.
But that ship has sailed.
Yeah, the Celebrity Center, the reason they bought the Celebrity Center is that was going to be their main recruiting spot. That's where all the stars are going to come hang out, and you know what? I want to be part of that. That's cool. And they give acting classes there for free? Hell yeah, I want to go there. Little do you know, it's not really an acting class, you're just being recruited in. But now, because of information, all the younger generation knows. They're like, oh no, that place is a cult.
What was the moment that drove you to the point where you said, I gotta get out of here?
It's hard to just say one moment because so many things happened throughout my life. So many things that were horrible, so many things that should have been the moment. But It was after a period of time where I had been on a Scientology mission that was in an area where it wasn't as so rigid as the base that I had returned to after, where they weren't letting people sleep. They were like, if you were to fall asleep during an L. Ron Hubbard lecture, they would make you like, they would first embarrass you in front of everybody by screaming at you, and then they would make you scrub the dumpster with a toothbrush, and we weren't having any time off at all. So it was just getting more and more strict.
What made your parents leave?
They were at Scientology's international management base, and so they were witness to a lot of things that were going on there, including my uncle David Miscavige, who's the leader of Scientology, like physically beating staff.
Like punching?
Yeah, like punching in the face. And my parents themselves were separated from each other for many, many years.
This is a loaded question, but do you feel robbed of your childhood?
I'm
Yeah,
saying,
actually,
bro,
I do
the
often
girls that
feel
go
that
through
way.
that.
I mean, I don't
I
like,
genuinely
go
feel
around being angry
terrible
at it
for
all
them.
the time. There was a period when I first came out of Scientology when I was angry at certain things that happened, but honestly, once I became a mom, I actually started to get a little bit more angry about my childhood because I just didn't know.
What's your prediction about the future of Scientology?
These stories of how Scientology treats children are going to come out more and more, and people are going to be disgusted by them. So I feel like the more stories that come out into the public, the more, whether it's a legal battle that takes them down or just like a public relations or both, it's like nobody will join. They'll eventually be bled dry, and hopefully they have some legal battles that they lose as well, and it all comes together.
To show you how full of lies and manipulation this church is, just check out this 911 call they made on us.
Team Northeast Unit 45946 just left 1306 L. Ron Hubbard Way, Church of Scientology. CPR 10, direct to suspects 45, no whites, no further suspect vehicles.
They claimed we burglarized the church and fled the scene in our rental car. Here is us saying hello to the LAPD when they reported to the scene.
Hey there!
That's crazy. Burglarized and fled the scene. Wow.
So apparently the LAPD showed up to the scene.
Let's park right here and just walk up.
Give my regards to Xenu, okay? Thank you.
One thing to question is this. When there are repeated calls to a location like there is with Scientology, typically a city will label the property a nuisance property, which means the property in question must correct their issues or face legal action from the city. So why is it that Scientology can blatantly lie, allegedly, and disproportionately use city resources without repercussions? And keep in mind they are doing this as an entity that does not even pay taxes.
All right, folks, that was a look into the world of Scientology. If you'd like to see more of William's stuff, his Instagram and YouTube is tagged in the description. Thank you guys for joining me on this journey. Don't join a cult. We'll see you next week. And my final thoughts is I send my regards to David Miscavige. Peace.
Folks, after seeing all this, you might be wondering a few things. Like, number one, why in the fuck has the FBI not kicked down this place's door, raided them, and gotten everyone
like, this is crazy, like,
responsible for child neglect and the other insane behaviors allegedly arrested? The other thing that comes to mind is how in the God's green earth is this place tax exempt after amassing a multi-$100 million real estate portfolio? I guess I'm gonna start my own religion so I can get rich too. Folks, I don't have all of these answers, but what I do know is this. If you send me other leads to cults, churches, people that need investigating, I will go boots on the ground. So send me leads to TommyGMcGee123@gmail.com and I will report for duty. Love you guys, fuck Scientology, and see you next week.
Tommy, you be making movies, man. You be making movies, man. That was a movie. Shout out to Tommy, but that was lit. I don't even know how to feel right now. Exposing them, like, what you mean? Like, I don't even know who you niggas is, man. Who is you Scientology niggas, man? I don't know. But, man, I'm gonna get out of here, bro. I love y'all boys, bro. Shout out to my fucking Australian dogs, man. I love y'all boys too, man. I ain't never forget about y'all niggas. Yeah, that police officer, you seeing this? I'm telling you, I'm all at the kid. Now I'm going to lay out boys, man. Shout out Tommy, great video, banger, banger. What are you talking about, Tommy? You do your thing, man. Keep doing it. Lay out boys, though. Chase your dreams. The grind don't never stop. Till letters in your names get bigger like caps lock. It ain't big enough if you ask me. I don't see caps yet. All the way.